It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Friday's Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. On this, the second day of August 2024, coming to you from a really hot Bedford County, Virginia, right outside of Lynchburg. Heat index this afternoon supposed to be between 106 and 110. Ugh. I'm already starting to have struggles breathing this morning, and it's not even hot yet. So it's not going to be a pleasant day here. It doesn't look like. We have several stories this morning, not a great deal. Of course, we got to update the weather. The lead story today is major renovations on the Encore, and I have one thing that I'm really upset about that, but also today, no change to Cheers. This doesn't really go with travel and cruise news, but it does affect our disabled community. LA County ADA suit. And details revealed for the Pearl Cove Beach Club. That and lots more here at 11 o'clock this morning. All right, guys, today is International Beer Day. Now, those of you know me know that I will occasionally drink a beer. Not very often, but I will. So since it's beer day, I'll make sure I have a beer. As a matter of fact, when Amanda had a friend here last weekend, and she was a beer drinker. So there's part of a case of beer out in the refrigerator in the garage. So I will definitely go with some beer today. Hot day, it'll be a good day for it. All right. If you're listening via the podcast, you're always welcome aboard. You can access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. All the big guys, tune in, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Pandora, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Apple Podcast, any of them. Just search for travel and cruise industry news. And voila, up pops the fat travel guy. If you are listening via podcast and want to jump over to the video feed for any reason, maybe to see an interview on that day's show or pictures or clips that we're showing, there's always a link in the description of the podcast so you can do just that. Again, I announced this yesterday. I'll announce it again today. Wednesday's show, for now, is canceled. Now, will I come up with a show on Wednesday? Yeah. It looks less and less like I'll have time to do it in the morning. So it might be a late show on Wednesday. Maybe when I'm back, if I feel okay, after the bout with the cardiologist. But for now, no show on Wednesday. Stay tuned. If I can throw a show together, I'll do that. All right, so one thing before we get on with some news this morning, and I'm not going to say where this came from, but it happened to be on the Scarlet Night on the Scarlet Lady. Now, what I thought was interesting, folks, see the lady there in the lovely scarlet gown? Her buddy's the guy, her man, or whatever he is the guy next to her in shorts. She's got a gown on. he's got shorts and flip-flops, you know. And that's an interesting bunch of folks on that ship. All right. That's the Scarlet Lady. It's over there in Europe right now. I did do some checking because I had somebody call me and say, "Can you book cruises on Virgin Voyages?" And I said, "I don't know." So I checked with Nate. Yes, we can. I have to get a special link, which I'm trying to get that now. But yeah, that will soon be added to the repertoire. How's that for a nice French word, hot air, Tom? Is that French? I don't know. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break from one of our network sponsors, and then we'll knock the news out. So here we go, network sponsors. All right, we're going to start off today with taking a look at the weather. And starting with today's weather, we got to look at the Pacific again. If you recall, yesterday we thought Carlotta could possibly become a hurricane yesterday or last night. It came close, got to within 2 miles an hour of hurricane status. However, it's slightly stronger today, but it's strengthening slower than we thought. It's about 410 miles southwest of the southern tip of Baja. Currently, maximum sustained winds at 70 miles per hour. Present movement to the west-northwest at 12. Central pressure is dropping at 991. A turn toward the west is expected today, with continued westward motion through the weekend. Maximum sustained winds have increased to 70 with higher gusts. Additional strengthening is forecast during the next couple of days, followed by some weakening early next week. Now, the Yellow X Western East Pacific, a broad area of low pressure located well to the west-southwest of the southern tip of Baja California Peninsula, is producing some disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Marginal environmental conditions are expected to limit development of the system during the next couple of days. The low is forecast to meander over open waters during the next day or so, then move northeastward by late this weekend. Chance of further development over the next 48 hours is 20%. Over the next 7 days is 20% also. And then the X closer to land, the Yellow X, the south of Central America and southern Mexico, a trough of low pressure located a few hundred miles to the south Central America and southern Mexico is producing a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms. An area of low pressure is expected to form from the system during the next day or so, and thereafter environmental conditions appear conducive for additional development. A tropical depression is likely to form by late this weekend or early next week, while the system moves westward to west-northwestward at 10 to 15 miles per hour, remaining well offshore of the coast of Mexico. Chance of formation for the next 48 hours is low at 30%. Chance of formation for the next 7 days is high at 90%. In the Atlantic, Straits of Florida and eastern Gulf of Mexico, a well-defined tropical wave is producing a large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms over Hispaniola, the southeastern Bahamas, eastern Cuba, and the adjacent waters of the southwestern Atlantic. The wave is expected to move near or over Cuba throughout the day and then emerge over the Straits of Florida tonight or Saturday. Environmental conditions are expected to be conducive for additional development after that time, and a tropical depression is likely to form this weekend over the Straits of Florida or eastern Gulf of Mexico near the Florida Peninsula. Tropical storm watches or warnings could be required for portions of Florida later today. Regardless of development, heavy rains could cause areas of flash flooding across Florida, Cuba, and the Bahamas through the weekend, and interest in those locations should continue to monitor the progress of the system. Formation in the next 48 hours, 50%. Over the next 7 days, 80%. So guys, be alert. Got a little storm to deal with.
Seattle is a beautiful coastal city surrounded by parks and mountains, and there's no better time to visit than the summer months. Embark on a cruise or explore the Emerald City in comfort with a mobility rental. All Seattle scooter and wheelchair rentals are 10% off until September 30th, 2024, valid for both cruise rentals and hotel residential. Just call Scooter Round toll free at 888-441-7575 or reserve online. Use code Seattle10 SRN 11137 at checkout. That's Scooter Round in Seattle.
Norwegian Cruise Line's Norwegian Encore will receive extensive updates, including a new adult-only area and expanding dining options. The cruise line announced today significant upgrades for the 116,000 gross ton Norwegian Encore. The ship, originally delivered in 2019, will undergo a 2-week dry dock from November 18th to December 2nd, during which time various enhancements will be made. A key update to Norwegian Encore will be the introduction of the Spice H2O adults-only outdoor area found on other Norwegian ships, including Breakaway, Epic, and Escape. The complimentary area replaces the current laser tag arena and will be a relaxing escape for guests aged 18 and over. Cagney Steakhouse and Teppanyaki will increase their capacity by taking over the spaces currently occupied by Los Lobos and Coco's, which will be removed from the lineup. Meanwhile, the ship's ocean blue seafood dining area will be converted to Palomar, currently a feature of Norwegian Viva and Norwegian Prima, and offering Mediterranean seafood cuisine. Norwegian Encore's dry dock will also see significant changes to the Haven by Norwegian, the ship's exclusive key card access only complex. Here, the premier owner suites with large balcony accommodation will be expanded from 2 bedrooms to 3, as was the case in sister ship Norwegian Joy's February 24th dry dock. The suites will receive a fully renovated living room and master bedroom, along with new balcony furniture. The suites with 3.5 bathrooms will also add a new separate dining room. Also, similar to the Joy's transformation, further additions on Norwegian Encore include 24 new balcony staterooms and 2 club balcony rooms on deck 15 to grow the vessel from 2,043 staterooms to 2,067. The additional space will result from repurposing space in the ship's observation lounge. I'm sorry to see that. I love the observation lounge. And allow the ship to increase its capacity from 4,004 passengers at double occupancy to 4,052. Big changes for the Norwegian Encore coming up. I'm not sure what repurposing the observation lounge means. Does that mean they're taking it out completely and just putting cabins in its place? Are they taking part of it and there'll still be a smaller observation lounge? That was, to me, one of the highlights on Encore. Several of the ships, the Epic, the observation lounge was awesome. Sorry to see that changed, even if it's still part of it left, but it's allowed to all be gone. Despite frequent and numerous requests, Carnival Cruise Line will not increase the total number of alcoholic beverages included in the popular Cheers a Drink package. The confirmation comes from the cruise line's brand ambassador, John Heald, following comments and criticisms of the total number of drinks allowed with the package. Cheers is Carnival Cruise Line's drink package that permits guests to enjoy up to 15 alcoholic beverages per 24-hour period for a flat daily rate. Heald frequently gets requests and even demands that the total be raised so that cruisers can have even more drinks during one day. Carnival Cruise Line unveiled details about Pearl Cove Beach Club, an exclusive retreat at Celebration Key for guests 18 and older, according to a press release. The cruise line also opened reservations for shore excursions, super villas, cabanas, and day beds for sailings visiting Celebration Key starting in July of 2025. Located at the westernmost point of Celebration Key, Pearl Cove Beach Club will feature a secluded entry, an 11,000 square foot private infinity pool with a sun shelf, water loungers, and a swim-up bar. The pool area will offer sun umbrellas, sun loungers, and day beds with a DJ playing lounge music. Beyond the pool, guests will find a private beach with sun loungers and beachside food and drink service. The beach club will also feature a full-service restaurant with an elevated menu and a bar and lounge with indoor and outdoor seating. While I realize this isn't a cruise story, it does affect our disabled community. The Justice Department announced today that it has reached a landmark agreement with the County of Los Angeles to resolve its lawsuit alleging that the county violated the ADA by denying voters with disabilities an equal opportunity to participate in its various voting programs, services, and activities when it failed to select and use facilities as polling places that are accessible to persons with disabilities. People with disabilities are entitled to full inclusion at the ballot box, said Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark of the Justice Department Civil Rights Division. The Justice Department is committed to safeguarding the right of every eligible voter, including voters with disabilities, to participate in our electoral process. This agreement should send a message to officials across the country regarding the need to ensure the accessibility of the voting process. Congratulations to the people of Los Angeles. Now maybe we can get on with getting the ADA on all cruise ships. That would be wonderful. Today's feature cruise is part of a flash sale that's good until August 9th. It's a 5-day, 4-night Bahamas cruise starting at $199. It goes from Port Canaveral, Florida, has an overnight at Ocean Key, and a stop in Nassau on the MSC Seashore. Sails on September the 8th, 5 days and 4 nights. Rates are part of the flash sale, but they do include all taxes and port charges based on 2 adults per cabin. The interior Bella prices $398 per cabin. That's $199 per person. Ocean Views $560 per cabin. That's $280 per person. Balcony is $700 per cabin or $350 per person. If you're solos start at $329 or $569 with the drinks package. Just give me a call, 434-258-9264, and we'll get you hooked up on the Seashore, September the 8th. There are other dates available as well. All right, now one thing to add about this, folks, that's for specific cruise. That's part of the flash sale. That price is guaranteed to the 9th of the month. There are other dates for the same cruise May not be the same price exactly, but I mean, it's close. August 11th, August 25th, September 22nd, and October the 6th. Same cruise, all dynamite prices. If one of those dates might be better for you, still give me a call. We'll get you hooked right up with that one. The other thing that I want to say about MSC, there's at least 3 of us on this channel. Gary Older Than Dirt, and Cindy Lee, and me, that have been on MSC multiple times. And the 3 of us will continue to sail on MSC. MSC has a terrible reputation, and it's just not, I don't think, deserving of that reputation. I have never missed a meal on the cruise. I have never sent a meal back because it wasn't any good. I've enjoyed the bar service as much as any other cruise. The entertainment is excellent, and they're gorgeous ships. I mean, what the hell? You know, now, admittedly, I fuss about MSC because of their accessibility issues. But they know that they have a problem, and they're willing to work on it. So I can't fault them because they come from Europe, and Europe doesn't have an ADA over there. And they didn't build the ships to fall under the standards of the ADA like we have in this country. But I've seen at least the willingness for them to listen, take notes, and start making changes. So that to me is excellent. Anyway, we're going to be talking about MSC a lot this month. Just letting you know. And by all means, folks, if any of you want to book a cruise, let me know. I want to show them, some business. All right, that's going to wrap up this week's news portion of the program. Goodness, got a whole bunch of people in the chat room today. That's excellent. Not so many people from X, I don't see. Let's see. Nah, we had 27 from X. That's not many. All right. Let's see who's in the chat room. Fussing at me. All right. I can't get up to the top of it. There's Hot Air Tom. Sunny down in Mississippi. Hot Air Tom says sad to see Ocean Blue get revamped. Yeah, I know that it's going to be Mediterranean seafood. I've never been able to compare the two to see, which is better and or worse. We do not like Palomar on the Prima. I had the seafood platter and then later had a seafood platter in the main dining room, and the one in the main dining room was much better. Well, that's interesting. Kenneth's with us. Good morning, Kenneth. There's Steve. Hey, Steve, how's things out in Kentucky? Hot Air says my yard is a jungle, but I can't mow due to the heat. Well, thankfully, Stanley got it in here over the weekend and got it mowed. But because we've had so many storms, it's ready to be mowed again. So I don't know if he'll do it this weekend or not. There's Joanne says, hi from Hades, Pennsylvania. Clement, I'm not sure how to pronounce that one. Clement Kierma? Kierme? Sorry, I'm not really good on pronunciation. There's Gary Older Than Dirt. Getting ready to go sailing with Gary Older Than Dirt. Again. What's going on, Tom? What's your next cruise? I'll let Tom answer that, Kenneth. I happen to know, but Gretchen says 76, high of 83 today, overcast, occasional thunderstorms. Good morning, all. Wow, that's going to be cool compared to what it is here, Gretchen. It's going to be awful today and tomorrow. So heat advisory's out. Yeah, it's going to be hot. I mean, I'll probably go out and get in the pool, but I won't be sitting out there very long. Gary older than dirt. What is your Facebook name? I saw a Gary and was going to send a friend request, but not sure it was you. Mike's with us, says good morning to everybody. Gary says, I saw your request. I will accept after the show. Chillie and I take the train to Boston on our back-to-back gym cruises in 31 days. September the 3rd, 6 a.m. departure. He hopes. Not so bad for me, but Chillie will be up very early. Yes, I will. I may not go to bed. Otter says, Carrie, I actually can't remember I sent it. Yeah, well, that's that. Oh, I understand, Otter. Gretchen says, geez, we sailed with Chillie in 10 days. Actually, it's 11, I think. But, yep, that's coming up. And with Gary older than dirt, too. So, that's how I dress on a cruise. Casual can be. I dress casual, too, but, if on dress-up nights, I'll dress up a little. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that here she's got on a gown, he's got on shorts. I have nothing against shorts. I wear them all the time. But then I'm not squirreling around somebody in a long formal gown. I understand that might be a little tacky. Open and half packed for our cruise. Just need my cabin number. You hadn't gotten your cabin number yet. If you want me to check on them, I'll check on it. It seems you should have gotten it by now. And I checked to see. I don't have your number either, so I don't know. If our Bliss dry dock is going to have similar changes, I will be dragging Chillie to Ocean Blue a few times on the January cruise. Lobster dinner, here we come. Well, now I'm certainly not gonna argue about that, hot air. 11 and a half days to go. Gary, I told you that they changed my plane. I don't get into Vancouver until midnight. So I just hope it's on time. I was going over the specialty dining choices on Epic. Sort of sad it does not have Ocean Blue. No, it doesn't. Los Lobos or Q, not much more than the smaller ships. Yeah, but Epic makes up for a lot of things that others don't. By the way, does anybody know anybody that's on Epic right now? Especially someone solo on Epic. I don't. Amigo John, when I was talking to him yesterday, he said, see if you can find somebody on Epic. I would love to know what brand the coffee maker is in the solo lounge. He said, it's the best coffee I've ever had in my life. I don't remember drinking coffee in the solo lounge because I've just been on the Epic that week. I was there for our meetings, which was like 5 o'clock, before dinner. So I wasn't drinking coffee. I don't drink coffee during the day or evening. I drink coffee in the morning. But anyway, I have no idea what brand of coffee maker that is. So if we know anybody on Epic, let me know. I'll send them a message. Kenneth says, I should check with Robin on that September cruise. I haven't done a cruise this year yet. Well, come on. We're actually doing two, Kenneth. We go from Boston to Quebec, and then Quebec back to Boston. Nice cruise. I've not been on the St. Lawrence Seaway, so I'm really looking forward to it. How long is the cruise in September? It's 2 7-dayers back to back. 7 days from Boston up to Quebec City, and 7 days from Quebec City back to Boston. Bob says, good morning and happy Friday. Good morning, Bob. It's Tuesday. He's answering the same thing I just answered. 2 7-day cruises, and then we have 3 nights in Boston pre-cruise, 8 nights post-cruise, 2 nights in Manhattan on the way back, doing a New York dinner cruise. Todd's with us. Good morning, Todd. Do you know a Skylar, a local politician here? Wow. Sorry to see a portion of observation area taken away. Yeah, me too, Sonny. Man, that was just such a nice place. Any time of the day. And especially if you're in, someplace like in Alaska and stuff, that was a natural place to have the naturalists up there doing their lectures and things. It was wonderful. Sometimes they'd have a little light entertainment up there at night. Sometimes several of us would just, it was a quiet place that we could go sit and have a drink and talk instead of being in the bars and clubs and stuff that were, louder. So anyway, I was just organizing our paperwork for the September cruise, the train tickets and all the tour tickets. We go to Provincetown on the high-speed ferry and also do a whale watch in addition to some food. Sounds good, food tours. There's Emily. And Emily just got up, she says. Best thing in addition is Spice H2O on that ship. Bliss already has Spice. Spice H2O is interesting on the ships that I've been on that have it. It does not appear on the surface that it's accessible. But there are actually ramps on either side. They're just kind of hidden that I can get from, the entryway and normally 3 or 4 steps up. Well, there's also a ramp that goes all the way around the end that comes up kind of toward the end of the bar. So it took me a while I was on breakaway. It took me a while to find that. But yeah, so it is accessible. Emily says, I just got up. Well, we don't hold that against you, Emily. I wish I could sleep in. You're lucky. Gary says, good morning, Em. Chillie's Cruises, the observation lounge will lose most of the port side area. Plans show like an upside down J size. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to like that. I really do. I enjoyed that. that was a highlight for me. But then, I'm a lot quieter on ships than some people. I mean, even though I get out and film and run around all over the place, I also end up back in the cabin earlier at night than a lot of people do. Hot Air says, I slept into 6:45 today. Boy, I didn't. I was wide awake at 4 o'clock. Gretchen says, anytime I make it to 5 a.m., it's great. That's it, Gretchen. You and me, darling. That's 5 o'clock's when I take my first pills. So I can't eat for 2 hours. So I take it then so I can have breakfast, because I still like breakfast. That's my favorite meal of the day, I think. So, yeah, 5 o'clock. And also that's when I feed the cats. So I feed the cats and I take my first round of pills. And then I also start working. So, I mean, my mornings are pretty busy. Emily says I got to take Fiona back to get a hernia taken care of. Man, she's had a lot of problems, Em. On a positive note, not my family from over this. Positive note, my family from overseas is arriving on the 3rd, and we will be here. And they will be here for 2 weeks. My niece's baptism is next weekend. Great occasion, Em. I agree. I've never been to one. Then we all are going out to brunch. Chillie, does MSC know you have their symbol up on your live? Just curious. Yes, they know. I mean, they're sponsoring me for the month. I have free reign with anything MSC. And I thought that's one thing, that gives them some recognition without having to say anything. But yes, they do. And I have full permission to use anything I want. It's like yesterday I used one of their ads. Tomorrow or Monday, I will probably use another one. I have several of them loaded and ready to go. Get pics of Gary, please. Oh, I have pics of Gary. I never heard anyone talking about how good the coffee is on cruise in a solo lounge. That's amazing. Well, John, keep in mind, John has been transatlantic on the Epic probably 6 or 7 times. He loves that ship. And one of the reasons is the coffee in the solo lounge. John's not a big drinker. He's not a teetotaler, but he's not a big drinker. So, yeah. But he loves the Epic. I like the Epic. I'm not as crazy about it as he is. I've had several debates about the Epic. I like the Epic just fine, especially after I found a couple hidden elevators for handicapped folks that I bet you 80 to 90% of the people on the ship didn't know they even existed, including one entire deck. It was empty. The middle of the day, sunshine, hundreds of lounges and nobody on them. Yeah. One whole deck, nobody knows about it. That was great. So, Gary older than dirt. Yep, about the status. I will be diamond on my first MSC with Chillie in 2026. I enjoy it. I like MSC just fine, which is why this was one of the um, first people I approached on doing just what we're doing, as partial sponsorship. Yeah, I went after a full sponsorship, but we got to crawl before we walk. So anyway, so Nate and I have been working on this for several months, and it came to fruition here in August. And hopefully we'll get some good out of it and have this repeat itself. We might also be able to repeat it with other lines as well if we do some good. So that's the main thing. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for the weekend. Unless something happens, I will stay on top of things. I'll stay on top of the weather in case anything looks, distressing from that, and any major news stories. So I'll come live on the weekend if needed. All right, that's going to wrap me up for this Friday. Thank everybody for being with me. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up button. That helps the channel out a lot. And if you have not subscribed, take this as my invitation to do so. The bell notification tells you when I go live or when a new video is up. All right, guys, that's it for this Friday. You guys have a phenomenal day and a terrific weekend. Try not to get in the heat too badly. All right, guys, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. You guys have a phenomenal, great weekend.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.